So next we are going to discuss about parameter tampering. It is other web application vulnerability by which a malicious user, a hacker or an attacker, they'll manipulate the parameter in the URL and they'll retrieve the data which is not actually authorized to do it. Okay, and the parameter tampering is about changing the parameter in the request and also in the entity of the body in case of post method. Okay, so this attack can be performed by a malicious users who want to exploit the application for their own benefits, and it can be also done in the man in the middle of attack also. So let's understand how it works. Okay. um, okay, just consider us like in a previous example we have a attacker here, and over internet is connecting to the web server. Okay, so once connected, what he will do, we discussed about the components of the URL in our previous videos, right? As like there are multiple components like protocols, domain name, path, query string, and parameters, right? So basically, in this type of attack, the attacker will manipulate the parameter and get the access or retrieve the informations to which he is not authorized. Say, for example, he is, and maybe his user account is associated to maybe let's have us like student one. Okay, he's an attacker and he registered as student one. Okay, just consider that he registered as student one in the portal, in this web server. Okay, maybe in our auction web portal as well. Okay, or any other web server, just consider it for example. And he is authorized to see only his information, right? If in case if he's seeing the profile informations, he is authorized to see the informations of only that belongs to student one or to which he is enrolled to it, right? But what he will do, he will manipulate the parameter of that URL and he will retrieve the other students information or other users informations as well. How he will do, so our in our example, this is auction dot demo fi dot com, right? So this is our web URL, and if in case he's seeing user profile, okay, this guy's user profile at this particular host, the domain, the web application, what will be the URL? It will come as like http, okay, auction dot demo fi.com. Then it's user underscore menu dot php. It is the path, and the query string nick equal to student one. Okay, student one. So when he is checking, when he is viewing the profile of his particular account, the this is what the URL looks like. Okay, and what he will do, he will manipulate the parameter, means whatever that comes after this query string, right? This is called parameter. Okay, so what he will do, he will manipulate this parameter value and he can get retrieve the informations of other students as well. Say for example, if he put student 2 here in the URL, then if a server is vulnerable in such a way, he can retrieve the information of student 2 also, which he is not authorized. Or if he put student 3, he can get information about student 3 or some other name is like Shiva or whatever the student name is. If he explicitly know about the username, he can directly put the username and he can get the information about that user. Okay, and if in case there is another way also, else what he can do, he can put star, okay, and he can get the information about all the users. So that is also possible. So this is what parameter tampering is Okay, and it can be done either by a single attacker, or also uh, just consider it is a legitimate user. Okay, a genuine user, and there is an man in the middle attack, man in the middle. Okay, and he is the attacker. So what he can do, he can say for example, when this user is seeing his profile, or when his request is going here, okay, this guy can change this, modify this packet, okay, and he can make, say for example, if this user put us like, if he want to when he click the option as like student profile, okay, and in that request, right, in the URL it will go as like student one only. But this guy in the man in the middle, okay, he can actually modify that URL, and he can allow it pass to it. So when the modified parameter request goes here, it will respond with the request whatever it received, right? So in that response, he can get whatever informations he required, okay, or the request what he put, he'll get a response for it, and he can get access to it. This is what man in the middle attack seems to be. Okay, let's see about this in our lab. Okay, uh, let me log in using my student one account password. So now I'm logging in using one of the user account for this website, auction site, right? I'm logging in. Okay, so now I logged in using the account student one. If I'm seeing my profile, okay, basically as we said earlier, when you go for a control panel, here you'll be seeing only the information about that user who logged in, or using which user you accessing that particular profile will be shown here. I logged in using student one profile, means student one account, so that I'm seeing only the informations about student one, right? But you just consider that he is an attacker, he's a malicious user. He don't, as of now, he don't have any access to the content of other students or other users, right? So what he'll do, he will just tamper the parameter and get information about the other students as well. Okay. If you see here, so this is what we discussed. So this is the domain name, and in this path, query string, and this is the parameter. Parameter generally comes after the query string with a value to it. Okay. So here the value is student nick equal to the value is student one. Okay. Student one is the value where it is showing the information about student one. Okay. This server is vulnerable in such a way, when an attacker, a hacker, tamper the parameter, he can get the information about the other students also. See, I tampered the parameter value. Okay. Actually, this guy who logged in was a student one. Okay. Earlier it was student one, but I just changed the parameter value directly here as to 2, student 2. Now if you see here, I logged in as student 2, and I'm seeing the informations about all the informations about student 2 also. As like the way, if I click, if I tamper a student 3, I am seeing informations about student 3. So in such a way, if we tamper the parameter by changing the value of parameter, we can retrieve the information about other users, or to the content which he is not authorized to do it. And say for example, if you don't know about any specific username, okay, what I can do, I can put star here. If you see, when you put star, which means all, right, wildcard. So when I put star, I'm seeing the informations of almost all the users here. Okay. So Actually, I'm not authorized to do it because I just logged in with my student one account. When I logged in with student one account, I am authorized to see the profile of only that particular user, means student one. But in I'm not an authorized user, but still, if you see, I'm seeing the informations of other users as well, which I'm not authorized to do it. Right. So this is called as parameter tampering. Okay. So basically, parameter tampering is changing the value of a parameter and I'm retrieving the information which I'm not authorized to do it.